We're going to begin our journey into more complex circuits today. We're going to talk about series parallel circuits. They can get extremely complex. We're going to start with something simple so you can understand the theory behind how all this series parallel system works. If you haven't seen episode 111 and 112 on series and parallel circuit math, it would be good to go back and look at that because we're going to have to use all of that in this episode. Let's take a look at our first example. This is a reasonably simple one, and I think everybody can kind of figure out which part is parallel and which part is series. But we'll go through it in detail. In this example, the voltage leaves its 24-volt power source. It next travels to the first grouping. The first grouping consists of two resistors, R1 and R2. 100 ohm is R1, 250 ohms is R2. The second grouping is parallel circuit 2, and it consists of R3 and R4, 350 ohms and 200 ohms respectively. Let's start with parallel circuit number 1. It consists of R1 and R2. We need to find the total resistance for these two resistors. We only have two resistors in this particular grouping, so let's use the simpler formula, which is RT equals R1 times R2 over R1 plus R2. Let's begin by substituting. R1 is equal to 100 and R2 is equal to 250. 100 times 250 is equal to 25,000, and 100 plus 250 is equal to 350. All right, let's do the math now. So 25,000 divided by 350 equals 71.4. So our final answer is 71.4 ohms when we combine the top set of parallel resistors. Now that we've solved for our first parallel group, we will look at our drawing again, and then now it looks like this. So we have a second set now, so let's solve for that set. So we've now solved for the two parallel groups. So now we have the equivalent of two resistors in series, and all we have to do is apply the formula for resistance in series. And this is the way our drawing looks now. It's quite simple now. So let's just do the math and figure out the total resistance. So now we know the total voltage, which is 24 volts. We know the total resistance, which is 198.6. So all we have to do now is apply Ohm's law, and we will find the current. So we will use I equals E over R to solve for the current.